Okay. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope everybody is well on this thankful Tuesday, Thursday. Thursday. Thankful Thursday. Alrighty. All right, we were working on Nearpod yesterday for protein. Today we're going to work on the Nearpod for carbohydrates. So I just want to pull up carbs. So while we're waiting, look at carbohydrates. Find your macromolecule chart. We're not going to work on the chart today. We're just going to, because I think we've put on the chart all that we need to put on it for now. Just waiting for everybody. So again, while we're waiting for everybody to come in, if you would, one, take out your macromolecule chart, always review it, make sure that it's up to date where you want we want it to be. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. If I'll just let you in, happy Thursday. Okay. Carbohydrates. All right. If you missed the protein one, the code for that one is in the module. So let me go back just a second. Make sure that that's the one. And I'm going to put those scores in while you're doing this one. I was trying to wait because everybody wasn't finished. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's the code up here for the protein one that you should have done yesterday. Okay, everybody was present, so everybody is accountable for completing that by today. So it's open. This grade folder is open till today. I'm gonna put all those scores in today. And then I think we got everybody in now. Let's see. Okay. Yes, Dallas. There it is up here. So you want to go to Nearpod and it's K39CF. That's the one we worked on proteins yesterday. And we are still missing a couple of people. However, they're late. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is in the module. So I'm going to, so Dallas, if you need that, this is in the module. But I have not added today's to the module, but I'm going to give you a code in the chat. So let me copy this code now. This is also going to be self-paced. All right. So I've pasted that link in the chat. And I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. And I think I'm gonna check to see if everybody's in. I guess we still are missing a couple of people. All right, so on our chart, so far we did proteins yesterday, and like I said, my chart doesn't have as much as your chart has on it, but you should at least have this much. Okay, so we talked about our carbohydrates. They end in OSE. We added that to this column, all sugars, all carbohydrates end in OSE. So as you notice, glucose at OSE, fructose, galactose, everything ends in OSE, even our sucrose over here. So I wanted you to write, so everybody needs to know that the sugar that you put on your food every day is sucrose, and it is a disaccharide. That's a test question. Sucrose is a disaccharide, which means it's made of two molecules, two monomers of sugar, and they just happen to be glucose and fructose linked together. All right, so when you watch the video today, they'll talk about when they link them together, they're going to remove a water molecule, which is what kind of where they get the name. So you got carbon molecules that have water in them. So they hydrate, or we hydrate them or dehydrate them to form bigger molecules. So we add water, take away water to make our polysaccharides. And again, over here, you have these words that end in OSE, except these two down here, which have special names. So while you watch the video, they'll talk about those. Okay. All right. Again, everybody else is late. So go ahead and get started on your Nearpod. Remember, there are questions that you have to answer. The poll question, out of the poll question, I say what you know about carbohydrates. Don't say nothing because you know something. You may not know everything, but you know something. You have this information on your chart, so you know a little something about carbohydrate. So nobody should say, I don't know anything. All right, so go ahead and get started on the Nearpod. It's in student mode, so when I show it, it's going to look different. But I will be monitoring to see that you are staying on task. I will be checking GoGuardian to make sure you're staying on task. I mean, as this is the long class, you should be able to get this one done. Okay.
What if we
Right.
finished this yesterday?
Excuse me? You finished carbohydrates yesterday?
Oh, I thought this was the same as the one yesterday.
No, no. The one from yesterday was proteins. And I made sure that there was somebody who was absent, so they got that code. So, and then there were some people who didn't finish, so they need to finish that. But today, this is carbohydrates, so this is brand new. So I'm going to close that. Whoops. Uh-oh. All right, let me come over here. I shouldn't have closed it out. But anyway, um, I'll know in a minute who's logged in and who's not. All right, so today is the 21st. And right now why do I have two different ones? Put this in the trash. Yes, we're going to delete that because we don't have a live presentation. All right, everybody should, yes, ma'am. All right, everybody should be logged into the link that I have above. Okay, that's the one. And it's student pays. Let's see who's logged in. Who's logged in? Who's not logged in? 6 people are logged in. Everybody should focus and log into this one. Okay, and answer the poll question. And again, you can't say, I don't know. Okay, these are the 6 people that I have logged in. All right, Troy, you're logged in, but you haven't answered the question yet. All right, so you see there's all these questions, and at the end, it's going to give me a total participation score, and that's the score that I'm going to put in the grade book. So make sure you log in. All right. When you say explain this to me, let me come out of this and um actually let me come over here. Nope, I don't want that. Yeah, I want that. All right, I'm gonna open this, but it's not gonna be the one that it's gonna give me a whole different number. I don't know why. All right, you are working on show in my library. You are working on carbohydrates. Come on, open, open, open. So like the one with protein, it's going to ask you some questions. There's a video to watch. So yeah. Um, anyway. All right, so they asked you a question, prior knowledge of carbohydrates. That was the poll question. And again, everybody should have said they know a little something, something. Okay. Nobody should say, I don't know anything. It's okay to say that you know something. So everybody should be about B. And then this is very slow. All right, so there are 27 slides. So just go through all 27 slides, read what it says, watch what it says. And like I said, it's going to record all of your results, so you don't have to send me anything. It will record that you looked at the slide, looked at the video, participated, and give me a total score at the end. Any questions? Any questions? So you don't have to write anything on your macromolecule chart at all today. And this is not loading, so I'm going to stop sharing. But everybody should be in um, macromolecules, carbohydrates. Let me check attendance. Let me create the drop folder so that I can add your scores. Yes. Desiana, did I answer your question? Do you understand what to do? Here comes Jayla. All right. Good afternoon, Jayla. We are working on the carbohydrate Nearpod today. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you right now. All right. So you want to make sure that you go through and answer all the questions. The first poll question, I don't want you to say I don't know anything because you have a orographic organizer, so you know a little something. May not know everything, but you know something. Let me know if you need any help. You don't have to send me anything. It records the score, and I will be checking my Nearpod gradebook, and I will add those in for yesterday, and then I'm going to create a Dropbox to add today's scores in as well. Mm, so, mm, All right, I'm looking at the scores from yesterday. A lot of you did not finish. Uh, so if you finish this one, if I see most of you are working on carbohydrates, as you should. So work on carbohydrates, but then please go back and finish because I'm going to enter the score that's in here. I'll tell you the people who finished. So yes, Jerry, you finished. Keone finished. Brandon finished. Lucas finished. And when I say finish, y'all got 100 also. Jocelyn, it looks like you finished. Didn't get 100, but you can. Akari, uh, looks like you finished. You also didn't get 100, but you can. But I wouldn't worry about it right now. Finish carbohydrates. The rest of you did not finish. I know yesterday was a short class, but make sure you go back and finish. Okay, we're not going to use class time other than Jayla. Excuse me. Yes, Jayla, you're fine. You're fine. So you should be working on carbohydrates today. These are the people who I'm looking at the protein scores from yesterday. And if I didn't call your name, then you did not finish it. So I got things like 13% and 30%. And folks, if you don't finish, those are the grades I'm going to put in. Desiana, you went in twice. So pick one that you were almost finished on. I don't even know if I can delete this or not. Yes, I believe you can go in and you can do it again. I think, and I go in first and see if you can't just look at what you occurring, because you just missed an answer. So there was one, let's see, what's that? Time to climb. You did not do time to climb. And that's the only thing you're missing. Otherwise, I think you would have got 100 also. So see if it'll let you go in and do something that you did not do. If not, you can use the code to try it again. Because I do see there's 3 people here who have 2 admissions. Neither one of them did they finish. You can't find a pro. Let me give you the number for that again. It should be. All right, that's the code for. In fact, let me give that to everybody because everybody might need it. All right, so that's the code for the protein one. All right, so again, at the end of class, I will check back on what your totals are. That's not- Again, let me know if you need help. Okay. Oh, I remember if you finish early with the carbohydrates and looking at the pace that y'all are doing, you're not gonna finish early. But if you do, I got like two people. Oh, Brandon is finished. Good for you. With 100. Great. All right, so make sure that you and Brandon, you finish the other one too. All right, so you can just read the modules for proteins and carbohydrates as a review. Make sure that you've put everything on your chart that you want to put on your chart. All right, so good job, Brandon. And remember, folks, you gotta do the poll, you gotta draw it, you gotta match the pairs. And all of that adds up to a total score out of 100. Okay, you finished two. I'm gonna refresh my page. This could be somebody else finished and I just don't know it. There we go. All right, I got you. Another 100. Got you too. Another 100. All right, so again, if you are finished and there's still another like 15 minutes at least left to class, read over the pages um, in module in Canvas for proteins and carbohydrates. Do all the little drop down activities that they have there for review. Make sure you know your vocabulary words for those two categories. We are going to do lipids next. So if you want to go ahead and look at lipids, you can do that. I did, so we did kind of start looking. I don't want to confuse anybody and I don't want to get ahead, but we did kind of start the row for lipids. I mean, all right, so if you want to look at the module for lipids, you can do that. We, like I said, we started the pictures and I slowed down adding pictures because y'all needed to understand the first two before we want to go on to the next two. But we have still 3 molecules to go. We got lipids, we have nucleic acids, and we have water. Always say water's like Mickey Mouse. Shape is a big old oxygen and two hydrogen atoms for ears. Alrighty. So this is what we're going to do next week. We're going to do lipids and nucleic acids and water, and then we'll be done with our chart. And then we will also be done with the unit. Please tell me that this is, which means test. Okay. All right, so I have added proteins in the module. So I'll enter the grades there. So if you see that pop up on your to-do list, you don't have to do anything with that. I will add those scores in. All right, so with proteins, make sure that this is where we make sure that you look at the characteristics of an enzyme. What do enzymes do? Why are they so important? And again, this is kind of an overview in that we're talking about proteins as a macromolecule. We're going to do protein synthesis in detail later on. So we'll visit proteins again. And we'll visit nucleic acids again because nucleic acids are the DNA. They are the instructions for making the protein. So we're going to have a whole unit on that. But in the meantime, make sure that you go back to the module and read that section. If you are done, do the protein challenge and the same thing with the carbohydrates. I left this one available until Monday. The first one is due tomorrow. Proteins should be done. Carbohydrates I left open till Monday. All right. All right. So again, with the carbohydrates in the module, in Canvas, we went through the little interactive box. So we have all the information on our chart from this interactive box. And then make sure you do this activity. Know before you go. And I think this video was in your Nearpod. And again, you'll see that in your module, but I will put the scores in. You don't have to do anything with that. and then go ahead and look at lipids. All right, so we don't like to talk about homework, but if you're not finished with either one of these Nearpods, you got homework. Oops, and stop sharing. Why did it change? There we go. I'm looking at all the people who I said I had 100 now have a 91. And they are not scoring the draw it. But I think it's the multiple choice question. That is changing the answer. Hmm. All right. You mean carbohydrates? Need to do the same thing for carbohydrates that you did for proteins. All right, y'all take your time on the multiple choice question. That seems to be ruining everybody's 100. Everybody who I said had 100 now has a 91. Um, okay. And some of you are getting tripped up on that multiple choice one. All right, it is time to go. If you have any questions for me, I'm available tomorrow afternoon. So make sure that if you need help, please ask for it. So right after this class, I'm usually available, not today, but tomorrow afternoon and Tuesday afternoons. So let me know if you need to have a little extra one. Okay, good. All right. And yes, they update the grade books on Friday. So make sure that if you want your Infinite Campus to look pretty, that you update anything that's missing. All right, you all have a great weekend. I see all those fingers. You're welcome. All right, so I got that.